Hello everybody, Houston here for another MGI update. And before jumping into the charts, don't forget to hit the like button, share with your friends, and subscribe as well. And let's jump into the charts. Okay, so before taking a look on the last picture, let's take a look on the bigger picture again, because some folks were asking some questions about a possible bullish scenario and in the long term, and we also are going to take a look on a possible bearish scenario without sorry, the bull run or the recovery. So just a second. As you guys can see, back in the day we talked about a possible double bottom followed by an inverted head and shoulders, which is playing nicely right now. Still we had a breach here, and just a second. Okay, so we are not going to use those lines that I drew in the last analysis, okay, because we are going to use it for the lower time frame. So I want to show you some things here that I don't remember if I showed in the previous analysis. Just a second. Okay, hold on. Okay, so we had a decline in price 99.61%. Okay, this was also something that I highlighted for crypto and also for the stocks in the past at the dot-com bubble event, and we saw the same numbers before a big recovery. Okay, and some numbers that we can look here, just a second. Okay, if we are going to look for market growth or progression, just a second, let's address this one here. Okay, so the first thing that we have to watch out is the average 50% for the whole structure, okay, which is around, let's see, just 1 second. Yes, the numbers won't match for the Fibonacci retrace, but if I'm not wrong, they are around 149. Okay, so the average for the whole range is 149. Just a second. And the average for the lower time frames, it's around 17. So the first level that we must take out is 17, which is just a second. Okay, so as you guys can see, it's right here, close to our lower high. Since the battle of Midway, which I call the period of transition between the top and the bottom. Okay, so the significant number here for the first takeout is 17, and what we are looking for a bullish perspective here. Okay, that doesn't matter how it's going to go, but we need a close above 17 and also protect this level here. So this is the first one to take out, and then the second one that we are looking for a bullish perspective. Also, we have more than one actually. That is between, just a second. So it's going to be anything above 35. So our goals 17, 145 if I'm not wrong, 149. Oh, sorry, 17, 35, and 149. Okay, so those are the levels. As you guys can see, take a look in the range, how perfect they are. And we are doing the math on with a blind eye here. So one of the reasons it's because we have a key Fibonacci level here and another key Fibonacci level here. Okay, we are crossing both to discover the numbers for later bullish continuation. Okay, so here we are talking about future events. Okay, before talking about new highs and Buran and etc. So now let me clean the chart. Just a second. Hold on. Okay, and for a bearish perspective, let's take a zoom here, which is very unlikely to happen, but it is possible, but very, very unlikely. Okay, I'm just giving a perspective for the side A and B. Okay, I can just look for one side only. So we could end up with a falling wedge, and doesn't have to be below 1. Okay, anything below 118, like for example $2 or $3 could be enough, because we would end up with the first one, the second one, and a third one. Just a second. Okay, something like this that would give us a perfect falling wedge that would lead us for a straight and way aggressive bullish move. Okay, and we also have okay, so this would be the outcome for the bearish continuation without a bull break. And also I highlighted before that we have a possible scenario here which is not clear, but it's likely to happen. And again, is at the range of $17, the one we are looking for. And for example, we can, doesn't matter how this play out. Okay, this is just for the sake of this example. We can make our way up 17, or the last level we are watching for, and then we have again 8 and 12 that are our special level, let's say. And then here we will have odds for a possible bigger inverted head and shoulder structure, which will lead us to a move, let's say here, just a second. That will lead us to, let me see here, just a second. Okay, around 45. No, it's not 45. It's because it's a log scale and the numbers grow way, way beyond. Just a second. So probably around 100. This would be a possible target for a structure like this one here. So this is a look into the bigger picture of things. Okay, and anything, just a second. Okay, so anything in this range right here, and this range is going to be a highway. Okay, it's going to be very, very impulsive. Okay, so so this is the perspective for the a bullish continuation or bullish targets. for the short and mid time frames. And now let's jump into the volume. Just a second. Okay, we have ranging volume. This is the monthly chart. Just 1 second. Okay, as you guys can see, we have ranging volume for 3 months straight, which is amazing. We know that volume sustains higher move push-ups, and we had almost a power candle here, and then a full body power candle, which is very, very bullish. And now let's take a look on the weekly. Just 1 second. This, let me see. Okay, so this last volume candle here was based on the news about the partnership with MoneyGram and Uber. And right after, we had this big one, which can be FOMO. And let's check OBV. Okay, so for OBV, we already have a bullish divergence, which is this guy here. It's way above this one. And another interesting thing here, as you guys can see, back in the day, this was the partnership with Ripple. And then we had no follow through at all. Okay, if I'm not wrong, this was in a Friday. I don't remember exactly, but yeah. And so what we had after was like somewhat FOMO continuation, okay? Because as we saw here, we had no ranging volume, but steady volume, which can't sustain moves like this one here, okay? This was one of the reasons that we know that we were probably going to retrace right after. And okay, so for this one here, we already have a higher high compared with the previous one against buyer's volume against seller's volume, which is very, very bullish. Okay, and yeah, and also it's very similar with the crypto scenario that we have. Now let's jump into the 3 days. Just a second. Okay, not too much to see here. Let's jump into the daily. Okay, so the first thing that we have to watch here, we have this gap right here. Let me use a box. Just a second. Let's make a background color. Okay, this one is okay. So this is the first level that we have to acknowledge here, because it's not unlikely, but it's somewhat probably that we are going to fill the gap before going up, or even developing a sideways structure here before bullish continuation. Okay, because as we know, we already have a parabolic move, which is not the best scenario for later continuation. And let's take a look on the 4 hours. Just a second, please. Okay, let's go. Okay, so as you guys can see, here we had this somewhat bear trap, and we were still trading below the previous high, and now we have a higher high compared with the previous one, which is amazing news. And the thing here now is the bears are going to need a lot of firepower to develop somewhat a big move here. So the one that we are looking for is at 270, which is also a 9, and it is also a 50, almost a 50 inside this range, a 50%. And we can look at many structures that possibly can develop here. Okay, for example, we can develop somewhat a falling wedge that we fill the gap, trade below the previous strong level, that is 245, and then we will have our odds for a falling wedge that will lead us to another higher high. And so we will end up with what? This one was beaten. For example, just a second. Falling wedge. This was our lower low, our double bottom, and a higher low to this level here is going to be way bullish, because we will end up with proper characteristics for a bull market, which is our low, high, low, high, low, and then we keep going. Okay, so right now we have to measure and properly read the bears activity that we are going to see in the coming days. Also, we have another thing here that is not, as you guys can see, it's right here between both candles. Can you guys see the cross? So this, if I'm not wrong, is the morning star or the evening star. I don't remember. I always mistake both names. But yeah, so this is a bad candle, okay? And it means it can be, it's not like a bad candle, but it's for some actual bearish action in the short time frame. And we know that a small pullback here would be healthy for later continuation, okay? Because if we keep going non-stop, all the way parabolic, at some point the bears will stomp, okay? And there will be nobody left behind to hold a strong attack for the bears. So it's going to be very healthy and welcome. Any move down here on this range, doesn't matter how it plays out. And it also can be, instead of a falling pattern, we can end up with a move like this one here, and then we go, okay? Or we can even chase the 50%, something like this, okay? So those are the structures that we are looking for in the coming days. And if this gap here is going to be filled, it will be great news, okay? That's the kind of patterns that we are looking for. And now let's take a jump into the volume and lower time frames. So as you guys can see, just a second. So it was always based on hit and run. Okay, so this can be due to the markup from the market makers, okay, when they made their point for later bullish continuation, okay. And also we had another bullish continuation pattern here, and then this one right here. So all those guys were markups, okay, in my humble opinion. Just a second. Okay, so as you guys can see, right after and also after the gap, we had a huge bearish activity here. We saw some people trying to to hold the truck here, and this lower high again, just a second. So this lower high right here compared with this one can be, and it looks like a loser's rally in ascending pattern behavior, okay, which can be bearish for the lower time frames. That is the scenario that we are looking for. And also we saw a decline in the bearish behavior, bearish activity. If the buyers let it go here, they don't charge at all, the bears will step in, okay? And we hope they do. It's going to be amazing. So let's jump into the 1 hour. We have, it's like 50% this structure right here. I'm not going to measure this one due to the gap, okay? But it's tightening. I'm not trusting this one right here because, as you guys can see, we are right in the middle, chasing the average price before continuation, okay? And we saw some people buying here following the previous support area, which are support and resistance traders. Not the best place for a trade. And let me see. So this structure right here, as you guys can see, it's bearish, okay? And it's not inside bar, but the bears are still in control here, as the bulls were not able to make another high. And let's take a look on the 30 minutes for more clues. Yes, we have, after the U shape, we had a start of raising volume from the bear side. Just a second. Okay, so a descending pattern, bulls pay off, no new low so far compared with the previous one, but it doesn't mean we are not going to have one, especially with this structure right here that is likely a bear flag. Let's take a look at the 15 minutes. It's going to be clear. Yes, we have a bear flag. Just a second. Okay, so guys, this is a bearish continuation pattern, okay? The outcome of this one can be a higher low compared with the previous ones, but we are very likely to see some bullish action around the $3 range. But just for the sake of this example, just give me 1 second. Let's see what we can have here. Okay, so both lines here, the upper line and the bottom line, are speculation. Okay, I'm speculating here. This is not valid. I'm just looking for a possible scenario that you guys will understand in a few seconds. Hold on, hold your hats. As you guys can see, we can have a descending channel or a falling wedge. It's not clear yet, but I believe this scenario can play out. Okay, as you guys can see, we're going to end up with a three legs structure. The one is just a second. The first bearish one. So this was a perfect scenario for a short. Okay, I was not tracking MGI or even the lower time frames, but if I was going to short around this level here. It's a class A short. Okay, let's go. So the bearish pattern that led to a bear break, micro falling wedge, 50 payoff, round bottom, 70-80 plus rejection, plus retrace before the lower high, bearish continuation pattern, another bearish continuation pattern that may lead us to the 3. And so this is the level that we are going to probably go see some activity, and it's also going to be a lower low compared with the previous one. Okay, so this is a micro technical analysis for a possible scenario that we are going to see in the coming days. Okay, and so a structure here, depending on the firepower from the bulls, we can ascend, and then we can end up in a straight break to fill the gap, or we print another bearish pattern before filling the gap, and then we will be ready. Okay, so this is going to be the first structure, the second one, and we will look for the third one that can end up in another round bottom with a 70-80% retrace. Okay, so guys, I believe this is it for now. I believe I covered everything here. Let me take a quick look on the chat, just a second. CD, it's very late, but this will be worth it. Hello CD, how are you doing, my friend? I hope it is. MP, let's get it. Yes. 99% decrease, that's what I call cheap. Yes, very cheap. XRP, bigger stash, beautiful setup for MGI. Thank you, buddy. Kenny Williams, MGI for the long haul. Yes, no doubt. To fill that gap, it needs to drop over 20%. That's not a big deal. It is possible that a gap will not be filled. Yes, it's possible, but it's unlikely, especially if we are going straight up. But doesn't matter if we fall like 20% and fill the gap. What we have for later continuation is way above. Crypto Elf, MoneyGram, to the moon, likely. Jamaican XRP, you think I should sell and buy back at a later time? So this kind of behavior, Jamaican, it's a behavior for bearish markets, because you sell expecting it's going to drop further, and when you do this kind of thing in a bull market, you are going to be left behind. Okay, so you are trying to use a bearish strategy in a possible bull market. That's not wise to do, and this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so the thing is, if you know MGI is in a bull run and it's going higher, okay, why are you going to sell to buy cheaper? The idea for the long term is, instead of selling, you will keep adding small positions in key levels. For example, let's say we retrace 20% or 25 or 30%. You will add to your position and not close your position and seek for new lows before you can buy. The anxiety, then fear, and the FOMO will create a problem, and you will feel not safe, not secure by doing such thing. So that's all the way bad, a bad strategy. CD, thank you for your vision, looks very good. You are welcome, my friend. Kenny Williams, Code Ripple, actually buy MoneyGram. In my humble opinion, the deal that they made was like a purchase, because we know companies from China try to buy MoneyGram, but the United States blocked the deal. So the United States itself blocked the deal. So this is very key for a better understanding. And who stepped in to buy our partner? Okay, let's say partner, because Ripple doesn't need to buy MoneyGram. They don't need. You can buy, quote, buy other companies by making partnerships. That's the best way to do it. They do this kind of thing in Japan for a long time. Okay, so in my opinion, Ripple made this deal in the behalf of the United States, okay? So this deal goes way beyond what the average Joe can see. And this is my opinion, okay? Don't take it as a fact, because it is not. I don't know, but I'm speculating on my experience in the markets, which is not so great, so amazing, but a little thing here, a little thing there. Yes, we know a little. Jamaican. Oh, you are very welcome, my friend. Sid, good advice on the market perspective. Thank you, Sid. Guys, I believe this is it. I hope you guys are having a great day or a great night. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your time. Your time is precious. Never forget it. And yes, also don't forget to hit the like button. Please, you can do it for free. And that's it, guys. I'm going to see you guys soon. I hope you have a blessed day. And feel free to ask any questions, which is not about when moon or when dates, where time frames. We have to look at the straight facts, okay, or straight data. We're not fortune tellers. So this is it. Thank you, and I will see you guys soon.